just selfishness in the middle, and then spans out and makes all these different sins around it. Right. So, the root of all sin is selfishness.
Mm. All right.
Just hand it.
He has to say selfish before you pass it. Okay.
We started out with just Adam and Eve, the first two people. They were selfish in their own when they wanted to eat the fruit so they could be like God. They wanted to be like God so they could know the difference between good and evil. They wanted to be God, so they wanted the power of God. And then there came Cain and Abel. They started being selfish, fighting over God's favor, and then it got much, much worse. Cain murdered Abel to gain God's favor, and God was not happy with that at all, and basically took both of them out of his favor. So, we never stopped being selfish. We became more and more selfish over the years. And then in the days of Noah, God came with a flood and washed away all the evil and selfishness by starting over with Noah and his family. But very soon, people were back doing the same thing, being selfish and fighting over things again. There was also Jonah, who had to be swallowed by a whale and had to stay inside a whale's stomach for 3 days before he would stop being selfish. And then we had Pharaoh, who wouldn't release God's people because he wanted slaves to do his own bidding. So God took Moses and made him go to Pharaoh 3 times. Several times. And one time, he even sent plagues. Pharaoh was so selfish that he thought, I don't have a plague. I don't have it. So then, God even killed all the firstborn males in Egypt. And finally, Pharaoh released all the slaves. Now, that was 4 examples from the Old Testament. Now, we're going to show some examples from the New Testament. Were people still selfish in the New Testament? Yes. People were still extremely selfish, even more so in the New Testament. Because Saul went around slaughtering the Christians so that he just went around slaughtering them for fun. He didn't like them. Saul slaughtered many Christians, and God eventually changed Saul to Paul. So he showed